Hello, everybody. NearPod is an awesome tool that you can use to create interactive presentations in your classroom. Uh, I want to show you how to use it here in less than 5 minutes. So when you log in and you create a free NearPod account, you'll have several different options right here. My library is where you can go to check out any NearPod presentations that you've created. To create a new presentation, you just hit the New Presentation button and it will take you to Safari. Now, one thing that you should know about the app is that you cannot create presentations on the NearPod app. It launches you into Safari. Now what you can do is you can tap on add a slide and you can add any type of content that you would like. A slide is very much like a PowerPoint slide in the sense that you have a title and also text, but you can also add right down here an image. So I can go to my image library and I can browse through my images and check out any type of photo that I may want to put in my particular NearPod. So let's say that I want to do this right here. I'm going to use this one. I just hit done. What it does is it puts it in the background. Now I can also have text right here and I can put in my text, but let's say that I want to get rid of it. I can just hit the trash button over on the right hand side. I can add a title up here and I can say this is my Zag keyboard. Okay, and when I'm ready, I'm just going to hit save. So I've created my first NearPod slide. Now you could also import PDFs and PowerPoint slides as well, but on the iPad version it's a little bit more scaled down. So adding content, you'd have to add your own slides right here. You can add video, you can add slideshows. This is pretty cool right here. The field trip, that is a paid version right here. That is a really cool thing to do. But really what makes NearPod so much different than PowerPoint is where you go to add an activity. When you go to add an activity, you have many different choices to choose from. You can choose an open-ended question. So for example, if I wanted to put in, what is your favorite color? You can do that and then you can hit save. So once I have that activity in place, I can move that. So as you can see, it's highlighted. I can move that particular slide anywhere I'd like. So I'll move it right up here. And I can add another activity. Other activities that you can add is you can add polls, a quiz in the form of a multiple choice question. I like this. I like the drawing feature because you can add a picture, and I'm going to just browse through my files here, and I'm going to go through my photo library, and I'm going to take a picture on my camera roll here of let's see here, we'll put Google up on my screen and we'll hit save. Students will actually be able to use drawing features on the iPad, or if they're using a laptop or any other mobile device, to actually draw on this. So next step would be you would want to publish it. So in the bottom right hand corner you hit publish. Once you hit publish, you'll want to make sure that you give your presentation a title. So I'm just going to call this Matt's presentation. You'll want to give it a grade that you're looking at. So I'll just say other for right now, and a subject, other. I'm just going to hit publish. So what that does is that publishes it, and you're going to get this prompt on the iPad. It says open the page in NearPod, and I'm going to say yes. I'm going to open it. What it will do is it'll open it once again in your library. Now, how did I get there in the first place? Well, if I hit this home button up in here in the top left hand corner, you're going to see that this is the main menu, your main dashboard, and if I choose my library, I'm going to see my particular presentation. When I'm ready to give my presentation, what I can do is I can select it. So here is Matt's presentation. I'm going to open it up, and what it does is it brings it up here. In order to start giving my presentation to students, I have to choose live session. When I choose live session, now students are going to need to enter in this particular passcode. So what does this look like on the student side? Well, I'm going to just show you, and I'm going to log out here of my teacher iPad. And when students log in for the very first time, what they're going to do is they're going to enter in the PIN right here. So I'm going to enter in my PIN. And as you can see, if I'm a student here, I just enter in that code and then I hit join session. So what it'll do first of all is it'll download my presentation, and as a student I have to enter in my information. So I'm going to enter in my name and I'll hit send, and then what it'll then do is it'll prompt me to the very first slide. So this is the very first slide right here as a student. So I'm going to put in, my favorite color is blue, and I'm going to send it to my teacher, and it's going to say yes. So on the teacher side of things, you're going to see that you get these student results. So what exactly does that look like? So in order to do this, I just want to show you through the web version. I'm just opening this up in Chrome, that you can see this is my particular answer. Now as a teacher, what I can then do is I can say, oh, I really like this answer, so I'm going to share it with the entire class. So when I hit the share button, check out what happens on the iPad. You're going to see that answer, but it's anonymous, which is very, very helpful. So let's go on to the next slide. So I'm just going to advance my presentation here. If I'm on the iPad, I can just tap this arrow right here. And as you can see, this is my slide on the ZAG keyboard. So let's check out what it looks like. This is on my iPad. Now, the great thing is that this is where kids are at. So I can go back and forth and kids will always be in the presentation. But what if you have a kid that comes in late? Well, you know what you can do is you can give them this pin right here and they can join you where you left off. Another thing too is right up here, you're going to see the number of students that are completing this NearPod assignment. And if you see this as red, it'll say that one of your students might be in another application. So once they get out of NearPod, it turns red. I can double tap on here and I can see, Matt has a green dot next to him, so that means he is engaged. If I was outside the class, it would be red. Okay, so I'm going to hit close, and I'm going to advance to the next slide right here, and the slide is a drawing, right? Now I didn't put any directions on here, but I wanted to show you what the directions, what this is going to look like from a student standpoint. So if I'm a student and I say, hey, circle Google Drive, I can use the tools down here at the very bottom of my screen to circle Google Drive. If I want to use an eraser, I can use an eraser to do that. I have many different options. I have text, I have a highlighter. So if I want to use a highlighter and I say, hey, look, can you highlight the word Google? I can highlight the word Google anytime that I see the word Google in here. I can also add other things as well, pictures, and I can even take a picture. When I'm ready, I can hit send to my teacher. It'll say, yes, do you want to confirm that? And so when I send that to my teacher, the student is going to get this thank you set up here. The teacher is going to see, look, Matt turned this in. Let's check out his drawing. If there are other students, I could click right here to navigate through those different students. But let's say I want to share this with the entire class. Once again, I can hit share, and my students are going to see my drawing. Okay, so it's the very, very end of the presentation. I'm done. I'm going to just hit close out of here. You can actually close out of your presentation. And also just a little trick right here on NearPod is if you click on this expansion arrow, you can go to any particular slide in your presentation just simply by dragging right up here. And then you'll see on the student iPads, this question will come up. Now I'm back to my teacher account. I'm going to be using my iPad as a teacher, and I'm back to the main dashboard here. And so we were in my library. Now there's some other tabs that you may want to be aware of. The presentation that I just did just a few minutes ago, I'm going to go down to reports. And when I go to reports, once again, it's going to launch my browser in Safari to go to nearpod.com. So all of this stuff you can go to nearpod.com. The presentation that I just gave right down here, and I can click on it and actually tap on it, and then when I tap on my results, I can see any of the open-ended questions right here. I answered blue. I can see my drawings. I can choose this, and I can actually see the drawing right here that my student, which ironically was me, did. So that is a really nice feature. Something else too that you want to keep in mind is that there may be times when you want to explore and see if there's any other NearPods out there that you could possibly use. When you go to explore, this will take you to the NearPod store where you can look through different NearPods that people have created. Some are free, some are paid for, so just keep that in mind. And then last but not least, you have obviously you could join as a teacher while you're logged in. Your students won't see that because you are currently logged into NearPod. They'll see the other screen, which looks like this. I'm just going to log out of NearPod here and log out. They're going to see this screen instead where it says join session. So just keep that in mind. And then there was a tab on there that you could create NearPods. Once again, you can't create it in the app. It launches you to nearpod.com where you can create your NearPod presentation. A really good tutorial on how to use NearPod. If you have any questions, please let me know, and enjoy creating interactive presentations that will really change the way that students learn.